Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. We're soon going to be done with training the Explorers to level 200 series, and I realized that I didn't even fully cover the Ice Lightning Mage yet. I haven't even heard much about this class after Destiny. Its spotlight kinda got stolen by the buccaneers, the marksmen and the other mages, but still this class is insanely cool. Today we're in the regular server and I trained this character from level 30 to level 200 in about 2.5 hours, without burning. This character will be boosted by 8k Legion and Link skills, and I'll be using a double XP card and the totem, both that we got from the reward shop. We're gonna get Monster Park potions, and I got HS for my lovely fiance along the ride. We're starting off at level 30 after we're done with the tutorial in the Savage Terminal. While you can grind with EXP buffs and totems, it is fast if you just grind instead of doing those team dungeons early on. I also claimed the box containing the title, pet and hyper teleport rock from the guide menu. You get this once you reach level 30. You can only claim it once though, do keep this in mind. The title itself is transferable within the account and will last, I believe, 90 days. Ice Lightning Mages have two attacks in their second job, Thunderbolt and Cold Beam. Both are great for grinding, and it depends on the map layout which one I use. Thunderbolt has a wider horizontal range, while Cold Beam has a higher vertical range. Both are great for grinding though, so it just depends on where I am. Ice Lightning Mages leave debuffs on enemies when they hit them with an ice-based attack. Using lightning attacks then consumes these ice stacks and increases your damage against those enemies. It isn't that useful when you're one-shotting, but later on when you're fighting stronger monsters or bosses, this is a great passive to keep in mind to boost your damage. We keep the grind going, and because we are in the regular server, we can kinda ignore the level difference as long as we're one-shotting and within 20 levels of the monster. So I just went to Red Drakes pretty early on. These monsters are weak against ice-based attacks, so our Cold Beam will do even more damage against those mobs. And Cold Beam's taller range is perfect for maps like this. One really long job advancement questline later, we unlock the third job advancement. I always put 1 point in Ice Strike, 1 in Arcane Overdrive for a nice buff in our critical rate and damage, and 1 in Elemental Decrease. I maxed this skill first because of the massive passive final damage boost we get from this skill. Ice Strike is also freaking massive, so you won't have any trouble grinding using this skill. I still go to Stairway to the Sky 1 in Orbis, even though one of the monsters here are actually strong against ice-based attacks, because we can one-shot anyway thanks to our big boost in final damage from Elemental Decrease. Once we level up, I also unlock our first summon, Thunder Spear. This ball of lightning will follow you around and zaps nearby enemies. You can also use this skill together with the down key to install it somewhere for a couple of seconds, usually around half a minute. Once it is installed, it will deal even more damage and it will hit even more monsters, but yeah, you have to reinstall it every 30 seconds. There also are a few more passives that boost your damage when attacking debuffed or frozen enemies, and there is another attack that we have called Frost Ward that pushes monsters away, but I rarely use this one since we can just one-shot everything with Ice Strike anyway. Next we go to Leafer like really early on. What even is level difference? The maps with monsters above level 100 can have the burning effect that increases EXP, so the earlier you can get to these maps the better. The title that we claimed from the guide menu for reaching level 30 also gives Star Force, by the way. That will save you some time. I did also prepare a few items before I started out, but nothing too crazy since I am Dutch and Dutch players cannot trade anyway. The Redbirds in Leafer are weak against ice of course, so we deal some fat damage when we go there. Man, leveling a regular service is just so easy. Once we find another rune, I went to Zakum and beat him up to reach level 100. I had one small issue though during the fight. Ice Strike did not reach the top arms. Those also give a ton of EXP, and I didn't want to just defeat the body while not defeating the arms, then you don't get the EXP. So I switched back to my second job skill, Cold Beam, to finish off the top two arms before, destroying the whole body. Oh, and before I forget, you'll also get even more toggles in your third job, so when you log back in on your super cool Ice Lightning Mage, you don't want to spend the next 5 minutes toggling on all your skills. So make sure to add them to your macros so you can just toggle 3 skills on with the press of a button. Our new main mobbing attack in the 4th job is Chain Lightning. This skill is shockingly good after the Destiny update. This class didn't really struggle before, but now grinding is even easier thanks to the increased range and smoothness of this skill. We train at Spirit Vikings in Ludibrium because those are weak to lightning. Chain Lightning also has a 25% bonus chance to critical strike, by the way, just passively, so we will always crit using this skill. I max Chain Lightning, Infinity, Buff Mastery, and Queen is first. Your summon also passively increases your Mastery, which is pretty nice, so don't forget to at least put a point in that while you're leveling Chain Lightning, Infinity, and Buff Mastery. Also make sure to add 1 point in Blizzard somewhere along the way. This skill has a passive that gives you a chance to make ice shards fall from the sky when you're attacking, just for a bit more damage in case you can't one-shot. And as you can tell, I joined a guild as well. This I did to get some minor EXP and Star Force bonuses. When you can, always join a guild as soon as you reach level 100. You can just press G, go open up the guide tab and just search for one that recruits low level players. It is super beneficial. When we're grinding mostly at Star Force monsters because those have the best HP EXP ratio in the regular servers. So we go from Spirit Vikings to Junior Cerebus to Banes, and once we hit level 140, I went to the Blue Notebook Star Force map in the Coninck Tower. To level up faster, I also bought some Legion EXP coupons so that we can skip about 8.5 levels in total along our journey. Those also give an EXP buff and are super worth it if you got the Legion coins. You can buy 5 a week though, and they are untradable, so 15 a week in total. We grind at Blue Notebooks all the way up to level 160. Then we use some more of our guide menu rewards. Keep in mind that you can only claim those rewards once. I'm using those level up potions on this character though. I got 3 levels and then 10 levels, freaking nice. I Star Force a bit more, and our next stop is going to be Aliens. Ice Lightning Mages really grind like crazy. The summon they can install, the other summon that's floating around, the buff Chain Lightning, together with their Frozen Orb and Blizzard skill, can take care of big parts of the map all at once. And with your Infinity skill, you'll be able to go even harder. This skill buffs your final damage by a ton when it's active, so you want to be using that as much as you can. Oh, and once you hit level 140, don't forget about your hyper stats. I was dropping points in normal monster damage, and critical damage for faster grinding. For my hyper skills, I buffed everything from Chain Lightning, I got the points in the damage boost for Frozen Orb, and the teleport range increase toggle from Teleport Mastery. Once you hit level 140, you also get another hyper skill. This is your Icy Aura. You can install this as well if you want to, but since we're in One Shot City, or well, close to One Shot City, it doesn't really matter that much. I just toggle it on and I just kinda never really used it any other way. This aura increases resistances and leaves the freezing debuff on enemies. Your level 160 hyper skill is a key down attack that does a ton of damage, great for clearing out those pesky elite monsters. When you want to use the skill, make sure to first use Frozen Orb before using Lightning Orb. This is a lightning based attack, as the name might suggest, so it will consume the frozen stacks that are applied by Frozen Orb instantly. It will just deal a bit more damage that way. We use another leveling potion once we hit level 180, thank you guide menu, and our next stop is Forsaken Excavation Site 2 in Future Period. The monsters here are conveniently weak to lightning as well, so once we have Infinity on, we can even one-shot them already. And even better, the maps here have 10 burning, because I think everyone is either in the reboot server or playing in the burning world. Where's my Luna gang at, man? So after a little bit longer than expected grind to reach level 199, I used the Haven, a new home quest, to reach level 200. This is a level 190 quest that can be found in the night bulb at the left side of the screen. By the way, you can watch back this whole grinding session on the VOD channel. It has no commentary or anything like that, just pure grinding and some sweet MapleStory ASMR. So what is level 200 plus like as an Ice Lightning Mage after the Destiny update? Well, I grinded an Ice Lightning Mage to level 230 just for this occasion. Ice Lightning Mages are mean blue grinding machines. Wait, that doesn't rhyme. Anyway, with skills like Ice Age, they can leave ice everywhere on the map, damaging monsters, or just use Bolt Barrage to destroy a big part of the map. This skill is like the Lightning Rune, but on steroids. It will get stuck at walls though, it won't turn around, so you gotta make sure to use that strategically. Or just summon my cold ex-girlfriend with the Spirit of the Snow skill. Her coldness will deal damage to anyone nearby. And then there is also the 5th job skill Jupiter Thunder, which just deals a ton of damage. This skill can even jump from monster to monster. That is somewhat useful when you're grinding, but it's mostly a burst skill that I use when bossing, together with my 4th job Bind, that big dragon breath attack, which is by the way also your iframe. Actually, together with the Paladin, Ice Lightning Mages are the only 2 Explorer classes that have their own bind. So if you're looking for a class that has their own bind, so you don't want to sacrifice that 5th job node slot, then Ice Lightning Mage or Paladin are the classes for you as Explorers. And that was all for today. What do you think of the Ice Lightning Mage? Let me know in the comments. And as always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Mora, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar, NHI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vyra, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal Pan, Victor Sundstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser RU, Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, Sir Tito 655, Mathias Simonson, Mr. Narc, Orlando Belavia, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gable Eck, Pedro Benedetti, Conrad Castales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Dog on a Talkerbox, Muka 1017, BMB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brandon Cam, Shake One, Vague Botnet, Fecco, Gianfranco Calderon Canavero, Necrodart, Mythiu Dev, Only, and Rashid Almarudi. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!